Hello everybody. Welcome back to Adobe Live. My name is Voodoo Val, and I'm going to be hosting the one and only Cory Hall today. How are you, Cory?
I am doing great. How are you, Val?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited for today because this is going to be like a kind of a Cory Val wombo combo day.
You know, I like that wombo combo.
Wombo combo. Yep. Yeah, we're going to be here designing, doing some pretty awesome stuff. But for now, I am in the hosting seat. Cory is going to be designing for us, and I'm super excited. Before we dive into a little bit more about you and the content we've got planned, I do want to give everyone a heads up. Check out our Instagram at Adobe Live over on Instagram. You can get all of the latest updates on everything we're doing here on Adobe Live, all of our streams. You can see the highlights from all of our shows and even catch some cool resources and stuff sometimes, which is pretty cool. And also give us a subscribe over on the YouTube channel because that's where you can check out all of our VODs. You can see all of the stuff that's scheduled out and coming soon. So it's a pretty good place to stay up to date with what we're doing over here on Adobe Live. But without further ado, who are you? Who are you, Cory?
I am Cory. My name is Cory. I am, who am I? I am a graphic designer. I do a lot of freelance work as a graphic designer. I also do, I work as a full-time graphic designer for Stanford University. So education and design is like sort of my intersection as a designer. I live in Portland, Oregon, but I'm from San Francisco, California. And so it feels really great to be here with you in San Francisco at the Adobe studio. And yeah, here we've got my website up. This is like I had a lot of fun making this website actually. I did this sort of like dual scroll website with like information about me on one side and then all of the projects, a lot of the projects that I've done on the other. Fun little backstory is this project up here at the top is one that I did on Adobe Live like about a year or so ago. And I do all sorts of design. I do like face filters on Instagram. I do branding. I do Instagram carousels. I do editorial illustration. I've done podcasts, branding design, all sorts of things. A little bit of web design thrown in there. We had a lot of fun on our live stream yesterday where I was designing some Instagram carousels in Adobe Express. So if you guys missed that live stream, be sure to check it out on YouTube. But I just like to have a lot of fun with my design. I like to keep it kind of silly, a little bit whimsical, play with typography. I also really just love taking film photos. And so incorporating the photography that I take into my design is a really big passion of mine. And just like poster design in general. I love playing with layout, image, and type, and just sort of like seeing what fun combinations we can come up with those. So,
love it.
With that said,
what are we going to be getting in to do today? What kind of Cory magic are we going to be sprinkling onto design this afternoon?
Ooh, I like that visual of me like sprinkling a little bit of magic.
Just a little magic.
Design. If Cory design was like a visual, I'm trying to imagine like what the magic would look like. But I think maybe we'll see. We'll find out in this live stream.
We're going to figure it out.
So I guess against like my own very strong desire for summer to continue forever and ever. We are moving into fall. I am starting to think about like what fall is going to look like. I'm thinking about like bringing my friends together for like cool hangouts and celebrations. And so I think in the spirit of fall coming in, I'm going to be designing a party invitation for sort of like a fall or autumnal themed party.
Nice.
And I think you might like this actually, but I'm sort of thinking about doing a like Halloween themed party.
Yes.
So you might need to actually come up to Portland for this party that I'm thinking about throwing.
Please, yes.
So what we are going to do today is we are actually going to play around in Firefly, which is Adobe's generative AI. Sort of, is it in its beta?
Service, yeah.
It's still in beta.
Yeah, Adobe Firefly beta.
But we've got a lot of different tools in Adobe Firefly, and so we're gonna play around probably with a couple different ones. The first one that I'm thinking about is text effects. So I'm gonna play around with this generative AI text effects. We're gonna type in some kind of like, whether it's gonna be like some fall prompt or something like that for like so the core illustration of this invitation. And then we'll play around with some text to image and see what we can come up with.
I love like just what text effects has as like the thumbnail would look really cool if it was like autumn leaves,
Yeah.
like red leaves and stuff. That could look pretty cool.
Yep.
We have Wade in the chat saying, I'm here for all the whimsy. I love it. Thank you, Wade, holding it down in the chat. I also see Oliver Andrews is hanging out today, and so is Christopher. So welcome in, Christopher, from Sweden.
Yeah, thanks for joining us all the way from Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What time is it in Sweden? I'm so curious.
Yes, I want to know what time it is where everybody's at, because that's one of my favorite things to hear from the chat.
I mean, it's just like, it reminds me how like big this community is, but also like how kind of close-knit we all are that we can participate in this, hang out in this way.
Yeah.
So I'm really here for it. So yeah, I think I love the idea of like a fall leaves, sort of like inspired typographic like core for this graphic. I pulled together a couple of Pinterest images that I'm going to use sort of as inspiration for this. We're working with some sort of like, a lot of like typographic elements interacting with illustrative elements, if you will. We've got some duotone. We've got, you know, I think that this one's really interesting, kind of spooky, sort of like the like orange and black with these like strange hand illustrations coming out over it.
Yeah.
Oh no, where did it go? We're gonna go into we're seeing the back end of my Pinterest. Here we go, back into fall illustration. I like this a lot too. This is kind of like an interesting little spooky with the eyes peering out, mixed with the typography. Again, sort of like the black and orange. This one here with this heads that's sort of like anchoring the poster. And so I'm gonna just like sort of keep these in mind as I'm beginning to design this invitation. Ooh, Oliver is in the UK. Oliver, I think you joined us yesterday, so thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
And I saw
says 9 o'clock in Sweden.
I saw Clever in the chat too. So Clever, thanks for joining us again today. You were so fun yesterday.
Yes, that was hilarious. We were talking about the honey do, honey don't.
Yeah,
like
iconic. I like actually truly want to make that into a t-shirt.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, Clever, like give me the thumbs up in the chat because I feel like that is now your IP. But like I love that and it's so clever. And if I ever want to do drag, then I think I'm gonna use that as my drag name.
Yes.
So let's just kind of keep this in mind, thinking like about an invitation that is autumnal themed, that is Halloween themed. Maybe we can throw some ideas into the chat. You and I can brainstorm a little bit about like what's spooky, like what kind of spooky images do we want to generate?
I feel like along with this style, something that would be really cool is to do things that are, instead of like this is a spooky scary thing, because like it is in a way, it's like spooky, it's autumnal, but it's also incredibly aesthetic for like what it is. So doing things that are just like a little bit eerie or a little bit sinister in a way could be cool. So like leaves blowing in the wind, or like a crescent moon above like a almost like because a lot of the imagery on those look like the stamps we were talking about yesterday. So if we have like a tree line stamped, you know, and then there could be like a crescent moon up above as like a cool design element, you know. Stuff like that could be really interesting. And it would be interesting to see like how we could do this, because we could generate some stuff that is like graphic design-y, but it would also be really cool to kind of, you know, work with some images too, and kind of turn those into some of the stampy kind of stuff that we would use. So I'm excited to see like how we might approach it, and put some ideas in the chat, folks.
Yeah,
oh, that's so cool.
We would love to hear from you. So kind of what I'm doing to start off right now is I'm in firefly.adobe.com, and this is the beta program. You can see kind of right up here in the corner. But what I'm doing is really like once you're on this, I'm just gonna go to the home page. There's a lot of different sort of like generative AI tools that you can use here. I'm going into text to image. I'm just gonna click this prompt, and this page is filled with a bunch of different prompts that people have typed in and the images that have been generated based off this. So this is grand Edwardian chair, zebra on the chair, looking at camera, close-up formal background studio.
That's pretty crazy.
That's quite the prompt.
That's quite the prompt.
But that's also quite the image. So, you know, like it adds up. So really you can get like super descriptive with these.
I think you can start from some of these too. So if like if a style like catches your eye, like if you want to do something that's like a little more like realism like this, you could start from here and like kind of alter that prompt that's already in there. But if you wanted to try and find like some more graphical elements, finding something that's like more graphic and like illustrative too
Yep.
would be really cool to start with. So that's always really nice as well, as you can kind of see what other people have done, what other people have created, and see, you know, the kind of prompts that takes to get there, and then do a little alteration of your own. I see Alessandra in the chat. Welcome in, friend. It's good to see you. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, I think we had Alessandra yesterday, right? Cool. Thanks for joining us again, Alessandra. I really like this stream of consciousness in a vast landscape, black and white. That is
really, really cool.
It's a very profound prompt, and I can see why it's generated some of these rather creepy and like spooky illustrations. So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna download these, just sort of as a little, just like maybe we could work with this as like some kind of background image of the poster. I'm gonna go back text to image. I like what you were saying about leaves blowing in the wind. Over a dusty road? I don't know. Let's just see what we'll see what it comes up with. Takes a little bit, it's thinking. And so there's a bunch of different sort of
I do like those a lot.
I like those too.
Yeah.
This one is really interesting to me. So
Clever is saying the harvest and the foods and floral arrangements on the table is good. Wheat, spices, fruits, twigs, pine cones. Yeah, those are great like items and things to keep in mind for sure.
I'm gonna just type that in. Harvest, foods, and floral arrangements.
Like cornucopia kind of stuff.
Cornucopia.
I was just about to warn you, I don't know how to help you spell it.
I think I got it right. Okay. Fruits, twigs, pine cones. Let's just see what this comes up with.
Let's go for it.
This is the fun thing about Firefly is you can kind of just like throw a bunch of stuff at it and see what happens. And sometimes you're really surprised and you're like, I mean, like, whoa, look at that.
That's actually amazing.
That's a lot of
like
stuff.
All the stuff we asked for.
And what's cool
and
too.
hay, big bales of hay. That could be that seems autumnal to me.
Yeah.
You know, like the hay bales are like rolled up already out in the fields by that time.
Throwing some hay in there.
Love it.
I'm guessing that this is hay in the background there.
Yeah, maybe it's just more wheat. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Very interesting.
I don't really know what hay
I think
is.
the pumpkin in the fourth one is also corn.
Yeah, it looks like a combination of corn. So right now, there are all of these sort of different qualifiers or filters that you could put on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to change this to landscape just so that we've got a little bit more to work with. Right now, the content type that's being generated is art. I like using photo because I just kind of like the realism of it. So I'm gonna switch it. See, I'm just always tempted. I'm like, download. I just really
I
like
do the
all
same
of them.
thing when I go through there, and I'm just like, I want this, and I'm just like awed by what it gives me, and I don't actually know if I'm really going to use those.
No, and then they sit in my downloads folder for a while, and then I forget about them.
Yep. By the way, we've got some new friends coming in. We've got Creativo, AAR Creativo. I hope I'm saying that right. Hello again. It's good to see you. We also have Manuel in here saying, hello guys, how are you today? What's the main idea? Maybe we can give a little rundown of kind of what we're working on today, Cory?
Yeah, totally. So we're making sort of a fall inspired party invitation. So we're going into autumn. It's starting to become a little spooky season. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use Firefly, Adobe's generative AI software, and we're going to use that to generate some images that we can then put into a party invitation. We're also probably going to play around a little bit with the generative text tool in Firefly to come up with some cool typographic, like a centering or grounding illustration that can sit in the middle of this this party invitation. Yeah. So right now we're kind of like we're putting in prompts into Firefly and just kind of like seeing what it comes up with. Yeah. So Friday the 13th is happening this year. It's happening in October. I kind of think it would be cool to like center a fall party around that and like throw the party on Friday the 13th.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I'm like, I want it to be like vaguely spooky. Oh, I like Alessandra says, oh, is that why you have your outfit colors? You are dressed very autumnal today.
So we are kind of moving like from Cory season into Val season.
Yep.
That really is what we do. And
That's
I will be
completely
honest with you guys. Almost all of my entire wardrobe is black, burnt orange, maroon, and plum purple. Like that's like those are my favorite colors. That's what I like to wear. So I don't think I have much that isn't like the colors I've worn yesterday and today, because I try to exist in fall as much as possible, to be honest.
Yeah, if you joined us yesterday, you saw you were also wearing a vaguely spooky outfit yesterday too. Very similar color palette.
Yesterday was Grand Witch outfit, and today is like young, like witch outfit, you know? So I was like in my robes, my magical robes yesterday, and today I'm in my semi-casual magical collared dress.
Semi-casual magical robes. As you do. Okay, this is like the weirdest little jack-o'-lantern I've ever seen.
It is a little strange. The one like the second one is probably the best one, I think.
I just don't.
It's kind of perfect though. It's a little too perfect.
It's a little perfect. The top's cut off in a way that I kind of like how funky this one is too.
Yeah, you might be right. The first one might actually be the winner.
Cricket Witch's hat.
There's a solar eclipse for me in South Texas on October 14th. Very exciting. That's amazing. Wow.
That's kind of spooky.
Yeah, super spooky, but also awesome.
Ooh,
I would wear all of these.
2 on the nose for like a for a Halloween party. I don't know.
You're asking the witch if the witch's hat is too much.
So the answer I'm gonna take it as a no.
The answer is maybe it's too much, but I would love to have it.
Bubbling cauldron on okay, spell check. Cauldron, spell it that way. Cool. Bubbling cauldron with a potion in it.
Yeah, or like a stirring, like a, you know.
Ooh, with a stirring.
Yeah.
I like that. With a big spoon. Bubbling cauldron with a potion. So like we're just kind of experimenting with this Firefly software. It's kind of crazy what you're able to generate. These are like beautiful.
Amazing, yeah. I love that.
I'm like, I probably shouldn't drink this, but like I want to.
Like I gotta know what it tastes like.
Like it looks good.
You know, yeah.
Like what? Okay, I'm sorry. That's just wild. So we're downloading that one. Okay, so I will go into my downloads.
Halloween from Alan Hall in the chat. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Okay, so a little bit of context for why I'm so into like spooky stuff is because growing up, my dad built haunted houses.
No way.
Yes.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Yes, it's super cool. So these are all of the images that I downloaded, by the way. So we're just like kind of looking at these. These are Firefly generated images that are in my downloads folder that I will like somehow, I think, figure out how to put into a poster. But the reason I like spooky stuff, growing up, my dad built haunted houses as a part of the Harvest Festival for my elementary school. And so he built these really crazy, big, intricate haunted houses. He like built the monsters for them. We like planned the floor plans.
Oh my gosh.
Each room had its own theme. And so like I'm really into spooky, creepy, weird, scary stuff. It's why I'm like nostalgic for fall all the time. But like the way that we always talked about Halloween was like Halloween because my last name is Hall. So, you know.
That's so amazing. That's just the coolest thing ever, honestly. I love that. I'm living for it.
Isn't that cool?
Yes. Alessandra says, Val, I recently moved to a new location, and there's a place here called Witch's Brew, where they have wine and stuff made.
Oh.
Made me think of you. Dude, I would love to go to a place called Witch's Brew. That would just make my day.
That sounds really, like, that's a cool
Like a
place.
wine house?
Like, you want to hang out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, that's the kind of
100%.
place where you go and, like, camp out and you're just, like, chilling for a couple hours. You're with your friends. You're having a good time.
That sounds like a place that should have a couple in-house cats, to be honest.
Okay,
You know?
so I am on the Firefly sort of generative typography tool. I'm like living for this bread
Yeah.
illustration thing. Like
It's kind of making me hungry, to be honest.
It's making me hungry. It's really crazy cool. Looks like someone like crafted it up in a kitchen. So you were saying like maybe swirling leaves.
Yeah,
or,
like kind of like the way that other thumbnail was, where it's just like red leaves, autumn leaves, orange, brown, red autumn leaves that are, you know.
So the way that this works is I'm typing in the text that I want
into fall.
to have be generated, and then over here on the right hand side I'm typing in the prompt. So we're just gonna hit generate and see what it comes up with.
I almost wonder, like, because sometimes when I've experimented, oh, that's so pretty.
Wow.
When I've experimented with a lot of this stuff, what I like to do, honestly, is sometimes, depending on what I'm generating, like, it looks great as a sentence.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think that it would be really cool to do, like, one like powerful header word as like the fancy, and then put like, you know, text for the rest of the phrase there, you know, so it'd be cool to do like fall or whatever. I mean, it really depends on like what you're gonna get into, but there's a lot of ways that you can use this, kind of like you were talking about using text before, where it's like more of a design element.
Yep.
And then I like to generate a few, because if there's duplicated letters in the words, I like to take an L from one of the other ones and put it in there.
That's a really good point. So we're having like a little bit of visual hierarchy of like maybe fall is in one and then the other type is something else. So we got like more push on the fall.
This is beautiful.
Thinking too about like repetitive letters or something, I don't want both falls to be exactly the same, but not too different either.
Yeah.
So this is actually good to like shorten it down so we can really see the detail of this.
Yeah.
We've got several different sort of like iterations, I guess, of what this generation has come up with. And so like, you know, this one looks like it's sort of expanding beyond some of the confines of the letter, whereas this is like emerging from as if this was like cut out into the ground and we're like looking into the ground of fall leaves.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's giving us a lot of options. I kind of like
I love
this
the
one.
darker tone behind, honestly. That's really beautiful. We've got Jacob in the chat saying, let's all head to Witch's Brew. Heck yeah, let's do it. Reverb Mike in the chat saying double, toil and trouble. And I see your wicked line, and I raise you cauldron, burn, boil, and bubble.
Wow. Amazing.
It's like a whole thing. It's like, if I find somebody to go with me, I'll take a gazillion pictures and DM it to you. Please do. Please do that. Honestly, take a bunch of pictures at Witch's Brew and then put together a cool like adventure carousel like Cory was showing us yesterday.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God, I want to see that. Please do that and then tag us on Instagram.
This is great.
So we have a question in the chat. Reverb Mike says, the leaves are too busy. How could we get less leaves? So that's cool because we have this tool on the side that says match shape. So right now I've got the match shape set to really loose, which is why the leaves are coming out all crazy. If I go to medium, I think we're gonna scale in the leaves a little bit.
Exactly.
Bring them down just a little bit because it is quite busy. So let's see what it comes up with there.
It was like kind of a mood to have like all the like designs. It is giving us, maybe it's because we still have like, it says swirling leaves.
Yeah.
So maybe that's making it like movement, because I do love that.
I
but
like
it's
it too.
like we might do some other with different keywords to keep it like more constrained, just in case all of the extras don't work in the overarching design. But
that's a good point.
pretty cool. Ooh,
Well, I
that's
removed
actually kind of
swirling, and it's swirling, but less swirling, but swirling in a less interesting
What about
way.
leaf pile? Like leaf pile, and then you can do like the red, orange, all that stuff.
Oh my gosh, Reverb Mike said amok, amok, amok. Do we get that reference?
I don't. What
That
do I?
is from Hocus Pocus.
Oh yes.
Sarah Jessica Parker's like bouncing around, being like amok, amok, amok. She's the
I'm
best.
honestly embarrassed. I should know that, but yeah.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I gotta say.
This is when you're supposed to be like, "Don't worry, I got you, girl." Cory's
No.
like, "No, you should have been on."
I
point
got
for
you,
that
but
one.
like I'm also gonna shame you a little bit. That's a classic
fair.
Halloween movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, I get it though.
That is fair.
Okay, so I'm going to move into Photoshop. So I sort of have started this blank document here. We're just gonna start dropping some things in so we keep this moving. This is like a 1080 by 1350, like sort of Instagram portrait size dimensions. And I'm gonna go over to my downloads. Let's see. And because Firefly is in beta, we're gonna have this little watermark down here at the bottom of our downloads, just to make sure that we know that it is not for commercial use, so we can't be selling these images. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I'm going to, because sort of like, I don't know, the fall is the main focal point of this, I'm gonna start with the typography.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're just gonna start,
So pretty.
we're gonna start laying some things out. And I am going to rasterize this.
Okay.
We will make it into a smart object eventually.
Clever saying, I brought my Eye of Newt and Frog's Breath. Good deal. Good deal. We've got some witches ingredient nicknames in the chat. I'm loving it. Melissa Showers, welcome in. It's great to have you. We also have Mima MC who was calling out some desires for the different typography pieces we created. Let us know what you would do too, Mima, if you were kind of creating this for yourself. What kind of prompts or keywords would you use? Chima, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to have you. Melissa says, spooky season goth background. Don't tempt me, Melissa.
Oh.
Do not tempt me like an autumn goth.
No, I think please tempt away, because honestly, that you're speaking our language.
I love it.
I'm all here for spooky goth background.
Also, Alessandra said when we were saying, well, we have swirling in the prompt before, she said, oh, I thought you said squirrely. Yeah, because that would have given us some strange. We did not have squirrely.
Okay,
no.
but now you're like giving me an idea.
Okay.
Squirrely.
Do it.
I guess it's not a word. Squirrel.
I think it is.
How am I not
think it's
spelling
squirrel.
squirrel? Oh, you're right. There's two.
Squirrely.
Okay.
And I think you can. I think you can do squirrely.
Fall, leaves, nuts. I don't know.
Autumn gothic.
This is
I'm into it.
Probably gonna be bananas. Let's see what it comes up with.
Well, it won't be bananas, but
Wait.
look at the sweet babies it gave us.
That's so cute.
Oh
The
no!
little chipmunks.
They're so cute.
Oh my god, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do a Halloween themed one anymore.
No,
I
we
want
just
to do
need to
this.
make it about the squirrel.
Look, it's even kind of like looks like it's spelling
stuff.
something out
Yeah,
here.
it does.
Huh.
Huh.
Okay, well we like squirrely, so that's fun.
We
That's
do like
cute.
squirrely. Squirrely is accepted. Shelly, welcome in. Shelly says, hi all from Israel. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining. And Christopher was saying, like, it's good to save all of the images when you're talking about, like, yeah, I just, save them all and keep them all, download them all, because it's good to just save them to have them for later or, whatever it is that you're doing, because you probably regret not downloading it. That's kind of why I do it too, is that, like, if I see one I liked and then I just like, maybe not, and then I just do the next prompt, then I'm like, oh, I wish I would have.
Yep,
I wish
I
I would have
know.
got that one, yeah.
You're kind of like, I have FOMO of like missing out on the best one.
Yes. Melissa says gothic squirrel. That's a thought. And then Clever says comic squirrel, and that both of those sound like fonts to me, honestly. Gothic squirrel and comic squirrel.
The comics. Yeah.
Reverb wants to let us know that he's down with the squirrel. I feel like the squirrel should have a title or a name. So I think, we've just been referring to it as squirrel or the squirrel, but
What are we naming the squirrel?
Yeah, what are we naming the squirrel?
Chat? What are we doing?
The chat squirrel cannot go unnamed.
No, that's like honestly rude to the squirrel.
It is very,
and
it's
I
very
wouldn't
rude.
want to disrespect this adorable squirrel by not giving it a name.
I agree.
Okay, so we're beginning to build the poster here.
I love it.
And so again, like if you're kind of new, you're joining us in the chat, what we're doing is we're using Adobe's Firefly generative AI to like, are you gonna?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's Clever Devlin's going
Nutso.
off in the chat. Nutso and Papyrus Squirrel.
There's a reason they're called clever, honestly, because you're like brilliant.
Yes, I apologize.
No,
Continue.
it's okay. That's a very worthwhile interruption. So we're using Adobe Firefly's generative AI tool to like build out some different typographic elements, as well as using the generative text-to-image tool to come up with some cool images that we're going to throw together into a seasonal party invitation for a Friday the 13th party. This is our sort of mood board that we're working off of, so we are going to like flatten these images. We're going to turn them black and white. In Photoshop, we're going to give them sort of this duotone look. So for right now, we're going for like sort of as graphic as possible, which is why I really do like these two falls. We've got a lot of crazy leaves, but when we flatten it into black and white, I think that then we're going to be happy that we have all of this going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we can get really funky with like how we do that, because it doesn't just have to be like the black and then the white space around it. Like we can have like some cutouts in there and like really make it like texture-y if we want to. Like there's a lot of stuff that we can do with that. Melissa says such a fun project. I agree. I'm having a blast here watching this all come together. Oliver says let's name him Steve. We've also got Chippendale, or as I like to say it, Chippendale. That's how you're supposed to supposed to pronounce it, I believe.
Okay, so I'm trying to do oozing liquid, but it apparently does not like that.
Doesn't like ooze. Maybe because it thinks you're trying to make blood.
Yeah.
It might be. So
That
slime.
was kind of what I was trying to do.
Slime.
Slime.
Okay.
I was trying-
The way that you looked at me was like, you got me.
Yeah, it got me too.
Oh, no.
So we're gonna let's just do autumnal leaves again.
Autumnal slime. No, don't do that. Don't.
Floating slime. Autumnal leaves, floating slime. I don't know. Let's see. What does it come up with? Well,
It looks, I think autumnal slime, honestly, is just honey.
oh, okay. You're brilliant.
Can we
Honey.
do like neon green honey?
Well, let's see what comes when I do honey.
It might do like honeycombs. That's really gorgeous, by the way. Just like all that blue, almost like a turquoise. Turquoise.
Turquoise. You're right.
Turquoise.
It's giving. It's giving.
It's not like,
Waterfall.
you know.
Drops.
Yeah, there you go.
Liquids.
Liquids. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm creating a prompt, I do speak with a strange accent that doesn't belong anywhere.
No, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a strange compulsion / something that I do to get around my social anxiety.
When I'm spelling stuff on stream,
Yeah.
especially because I think as much I do it all the time, and you wouldn't think that like I would be so like worried about it, but like I'm constantly, every time I sit down for a stream, I'm like, I'm gonna spell something wrong today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
It
me
happens.
Too. Me too.
Black tar could be, yeah, that's another way to like kind of get around it a little bit.
I'm gonna make some artboards here so we can just do a couple different iterations and we'll just see what we like as we're going through this.
While you create your artboards, I would love to let everybody know, because we're about at the halfway mark now, which is kind of crazy. I can't believe we've been sitting here for half a stream. But if you'd like to nominate yourself or someone you know to be a guest on Adobe Live, you can check out the tab above the Behance chat. We're always interested in making new friends and meeting new people. So if you think you know somebody or are just a fan of somebody you'd love to see on Adobe Live, definitely let us know about them. And you can, and I gotta stress this, you can nominate yourself. I think that's like a hard thing to do, and it's like, you know, should I nominate myself? Is that weird? Yes, absolutely. Nominate yourself if you feel like you would like to be a part of the community. There's nothing wrong with that. And then also, we were kind of talking yesterday, you and I think, or it might have been me and Andrew, talking about like the things we do while we paint, including, or create, design, including things we listen to. And we talked about music and our favorite soundtracks we listen to while we're working. And I am also an audiobook girl. I'm also a podcast girl. And Adobe has a new podcast called In the Making.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, indeed. Teresa Au has conversations with all kinds of really incredible entrepreneurs and creatives in the industry who talk about, you know, how they came to be doing what they're doing, starting their own businesses, navigating the world of creativity and the creative industry, and it's really fabulous. There's some really excellent information there, and just some great people to then start following for inspiration and to kind of see what they're doing. So highly recommend it. Again, it's called In the Making, which I believe the link, yeah, here we go. We got the adobe.ly/inthemaking. So definitely check that out. You won't regret it. It's a great listen.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I've listened to some snippets of it because they post a lot. Honestly, if you follow us on the Adobe Live YouTube channel, you'll see they and on the Instagram, I believe, I get shorts that come up with like a little clip of like what they were discussing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's one I gotta put on my playlist or jump in and check out. So yeah, subscribe on YouTube, check out our Instagram at Adobe Live, and check out In the Making, and you can get updates on all that stuff.
Cool.
Jack Watson says, fall, I'm ready for it. Yes, indeed. I'm so ready for it. Gareth says, fall came early for me. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I mean, how do I also encourage fall to arrive early for me?
I know.
Do you have instructions?
I actually was like, I've decorated my balcony at home, and I bought some like fall flowers and I bought some decorative wheat and corn and I potted it on the balcony. And my partner came out and was like, literally, stop. Summer's not over. Please. You're like making it seem like fall is here already and I'm not ready for that. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. Suck it up. Fall's here.
I transform. I do transform. And it's honestly, the transformation doesn't really happen until after my birthday. Which is next week.
Yeah,
so
happy
the
almost
13th,
birthday.
yeah, thank you. The 13th of September is like, you know, everything feels like this season until that point, and then that's when like I kind of become that meme. Like at midnight, I'm a regular person, and then as soon as it turns to the next day, then I am the witch from Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
You know.
I love that.
So, I do get a little crazy, but I don't go around and decorate my house for the season. But I should do that. I
I'm
would
kind of
like
surprised you don't.
I know.
Honestly.
I know. I should. I really should. But the problem is that everything I own is like Halloween-esque. So like all of my like my personal like belongings and everything are all like black, purple, orange.
Yeah.
So I have like maybe I'm always in Halloween and I just don't do extra for Halloween.
I get that.
You know.
That makes sense. You're just living it. You're
I am.
walking, living, breathing fall.
Yes.
Autumn.
I'm a witch at all times.
Okay, so the poster is emerging. We are.
It is really emerging, and I'm loving how you've done this to like really give it that like that stamp feel. Did anybody like kind of post what those stamps are called? I know that there's a stamp.
Oh man, yeah. Where did I like literally? I just saw it last night after we talked about it.
Really?
Like, it's not. No, it's not. I can't remember.
There's a word for it.
Where you carve like the rubber block and then you stamp things, and you print that way.
I don't know what it is.
I cannot remember.
Andrew Deacon, welcome in. What have I missed? What's happening? Well, we just went over. I think Andrew was in here for our little spiel. But yeah, we are just kind of trucking along, creating some really, really cool effects with this. And because we spent so much time together yesterday and like going over your process, I feel like I can really visualize like where Cory will take this, where he will sprinkle the Cory magic. You know, we're making that a thing. We're gonna normalize that.
Yeah.
That when you don't design, you sprinkle magic.
I sprinkle magic.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm very excited. I'm loving all of this so far. We also have Mima mentioning pine cones and needles and acorns again. Remind her of fall, which that's a great point. Same. Ooh, I love.
Spooky.
Yeah, very spooky and beautiful.
So we're working speedy, we're working fast here.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do a little bit of quick Photoshop action.
Sometimes that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how you do it, you know? Let's see, we've got Cowboy Nation, Danny in the house. Welcome in. It looks like Danny is looking for some help with Adobe Audition. We are not going to be doing any Adobe Audition work today, but I highly recommend checking out the rest of the YouTube channel, as I see you're over in the YouTube chat, because we do have tutorials and things for that. And then I think that there is probably a Discord for audio and video as well, where somebody could also mentor or help with anything. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk, but you keep sprinkling magic. And that's really cool. Like that texture of it like receding into the background.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like this too. Oh, I mean.
That's good.
I don't know what I'm doing, but we're just playing around. We're seeing what's working. And so far, I think it's working.
You just drew the sassy frown out of me.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh. We like a sassy
Yeah, we like. It's not really. It's more like an old lady frown, but I feel sassy when I do it.
No. Yeah. I mean, you look sassy when you do it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, watch out for Jason. For sure. Well, we were talking about Audition, but we're also doing Halloween stuff, so I don't know which Jason you mean. Do you mean Evangelist Jason, or do you mean Jason? Because yes, look out for both of them, but for different reasons. This looks so edgy and cool. Melissa, it is like so like contrasty and powerful, isn't it? That is dope.
That's
so
cool?
Good. Yes, I'm loving it. And I can see now like how you have like, you have made this into Cory vibe project for sure. And I wasn't sure how everything was going to go. I trusted you.
Me neither.
You know, I like,
No.
but you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of experimentation. And I was, you know, wondering how that process would go of like taking the generations that were like real photos and stuff and making them into that vibe that you showed the mood board that you're going for. But you're nailing it.
Yeah, we're going.
Totally.
We're throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, which is kind of just
Block prints.
Block prints, thank you.
Block prints.
That.
That was Clever Devlin. I believe that was Clever Devlin right at the top.
Clever. I mean, I gotta be honest. Clever. I really like you. You're cool.
Yeah, is
like Clever. Can you come to all of our live streams?
Can you just come hang out? Yeah.
Seriously.
Spend time with us.
Clever. You're like, can we be friends?
Come to the next one. We're gonna be back right after this show.
Literally, we will. Right.
We're not even gonna go anywhere. We're gonna be sitting right here, and I will be guest, and Cory will be host. So there's more Val and Cory magic. More, you know.
So much sprinkling.
Sassy frowns and sprinkling of magic.
I just can't wait to see what magic you sprinkle.
I'm excited.
Because your magic is like, ooh, your magic, if we think this is spooky magic, your magic is like...
I'm not going to lie, I do have some haunted houses and stuff and spooky characters in store for you guys coming up next.
See, that's like how in sync we are, is we're like vibing off of the same fall spooky energy.
Yes, indeed. And I think that our magic is just as powerful as each other's, but it's different magic. You know, it's like slightly different magic. There's a little bit of magic overlap, for sure. But that's why we get along so well.
Yep.
That's why we get along so well, because we're of the same magic.
Birds of a feather, if you will.
Yep. Reverb says he was talking about Jason Voorhees. Yes, definitely avoid that man at all costs. Unless he's on an off season.
Definitely.
He seems to only be working around October, so, you know. Val and Cory magic, yes indeed. Uma Korn is in the chat. It is so good to see you, Uma. Thank you so much for popping in. And Paloma is here. Thank you so much for coming to visit, Paloma. It's always great to see you. Sassy clowns. I don't know. That could work. That could be a mood. That could be a mood.
Scary.
I don't know for this, really, but like a good, like very stylish sassy clown could be like a big mood.
We're going to convert to smart objects. We're gonna ungroup, convert to smart object. So we've got like the makings of a poster here.
Absolutely.
Here, I'm just gonna, for my own sake, bump back to the Pinterest mood board.
Yeah.
Make sure this is helpful for me as a graphic designer to like have a mood board, have sort of a set style and aesthetic established, so that if I find myself getting lost in the process, I'm like, okay, what was I going for again? Like, I want this look and feel, I want these textures, I want this style of typography, I want these colors. And so like referring back to some source images for me is really helpful. So I think like feeling good, I'm feeling like we're in line.
Definitely.
I mean, God, I love this. This is so cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I love that all of the circles are like little windows and stuff. You also have Christopher in chat saying that you are absolutely nailing it, and I couldn't agree more. Yes.
Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, you know, like we're doing it. Okay, so let's not forget, this is a party invitation. What do we need in a party invitation?
Date and time.
We need a date
location.
and time. We need location. Okay.
Middle of a field at midnight. Or the witching hour.
I mean, where else would it be?
Honestly. That's where all the fun stuff is happening.
Literally the only place it could be.
That's a lie. A bunch of fun stuff is not happening at the witching hour in the middle of a field. Please do not go there. You did not get that advice from me on Adobe Live.
Don't do
Just
that.
like, disclaimer, that was a dry humor joke.
Dry humor.
Do not do that.
Okay, so is it clear that this is on Friday the 13th? Like, you're invited Friday the 13th, a seasonal bash. If I put
absolutely.
Friday the 13th, I don't need to put the date and time. Well, I should put the time. 6?
Yeah, you should, yeah.
Okay, no, 6? No, if it's Friday the 13th, it's gotta be like no earlier than 9 p.m.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's be honest, if it starts at 9, it's not starting till like 10:30 or 11 anyway,
exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
9 p.m., 9 to late.
9 to late. 9 to the witching hour, honestly, which is like 3 in the morning.
Witching hour.
Yeah.
Should I do 3 a.m.? Hee hee. No,
if you're being invited to this party, you know when the witching hour
Exactly.
is.
Like, we're not going to condescend our party guests. Like, they know what we mean when we say witching hour.
We're wizards. We know. We
9
know.
p.m. to witching hour. Because this is a party, I'm gonna do BYOB, because like I'm not gonna supply everything, you know? I'll supply the chips. I might get some bottles of wine or something.
I'm supplying like the magicking space. You know what I mean?
I'll supply the cauldron. You need to bring the potion.
Yeah, exactly. Bring your own potion.
Oh, I mean, obviously, bring.
BYOP.
Wait, BYOP, and
Yeah.
then I'll do parentheses.
Bring your own
Bring
potions.
your own potions.
I love it. Also, Andrew Deacon, that is so sweet. Andrew says, also, Val and Cory should do more live streams. They bond really nicely together. I am so happy to hear that.
Oh my gosh.
We kind of mentioned this before, but like, Cory and I have been working remotely together for a while, and I'm sure some of you folks have seen that we also live stream together on our personal Instagram channels every Friday that we can manage it. You know, it happens sometimes it doesn't, but we try to aim for Fridays. But this is the first time we've worked with each other in person. So we've been internet friends for some years, and now we are here in person for the first time.
It's so fun.
I know.
I like always want to do this forever. We need to like do, we absolutely need to do more like design.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
Like imagine if we're both standing side by side, like what could we come up with?
Throw in more magic into the cauldron and just like seeing what we come up with.
Your illustrations with like some of my typography, like.
Dude, I could draw some of the like even, and it wouldn't have to be like finished paintings. Really, it could just be like really contrasty sketches that you can alter and like throw into the. We got to do this. We got to do that. We have to do that.
Okay,
we have to do that.
Yep. Let's do it.
We have to.
I'm gonna say, I plus ones allowed. Ask Cory.
Just honestly, just be really sassy on the invitation. Like there's all these parentheses stipulations to everything that you allow.
Yeah, I mean, like I've thrown parties in my apartment before, and they're always a lot of fun. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like bring a +1, but like +2, +3.
Yeah, you gotta check. Also, I need to know who your +1 is. Do they vibe?
Exactly.
You know?
Okay. Any other information? Did anyone in the chat say anything about anything about other party invitation data?
Oh yeah, let's see if if you guys threw it into the chat, repost it. We're looking at 2 chats and I have minimal view. So if I didn't see it, I can see where we were talking about posting cauldron, like a drink thing that is shaped like a cauldron, which I like. You know, that works.
What's the street, the scary movie street?
Elm Street.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you, Cory.
I'm gonna say 666.
Actually, no. You should have known that, Cory.
I know.
That's like the spooky thing,
Shame me.
I love haunted houses. I know all about the spooky, scary stuff. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah.
Portland. Wait. Okay, no, I'm gonna do just for fun. Salem.
Dress code. Attire.
Duh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Attire. Thank you. Costumes required.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Don't even think about showing up without a costume.
Do not come to my house without buckles on your shoes.
Like,
okay.
literally.
I'm gonna need there's gonna have to be like amulets.
There need to be amulets. There need to be like witches'
cursed
hats.
items.
Like if you don't bring your potions in a cauldron, then like I'm sorry, you're getting stopped at the door.
I'm gonna need you to arrive in a carriage, sir.
Literally. Like a horse-drawn carriage.
Yes, it's gonna need to be like a whole ordeal here. Also, we have about 7 minutes left, which is wild. I can't believe we are already at the end of this. This is kind of crazy.
I don't want to stop.
I know, this is so much fun. We could continue the banter at least. We'll switch the project right after this, but we'll still be hanging out.
Okay, so I mean, like, whoa, this is just bananas.
I love it.
I mean, with more time, I would want to add some more, like, probably other spooky illustrations in there. We could we'll play around with color a little bit more. Like, I'm kind of curious, like, let's see,
Pets allowed, black cats only. We will allow all cats, I think. I think, like, black cats are classy, you know? Fits the vibe, but like we should say maybe not even just all cats. Like you can bring a +1 and a familiar, like like
Yes.
that could be like a toad, a rat, a bat, whatever your familiar is. You can bring your familiar and your
Like the familiar doesn't count as a +1. Like you can have other +1s.
Oliver says access by broomstick only.
Oh my god. Okay. But I mean,
So a horse-drawn carriage or a broomstick.
Let's just horse. Okay, wait. We don't want that.
Sorry, I keep heaping on more stuff to add, but I can't help it because it's all so good.
Horse-drawn carriage parking available.
Yes.
Obviously. AKA street parking.
Please leave broomsticks in the cloak closet.
Oh. Oh my god. I mean, this is wild. Like, I'm absolutely gonna throw this party now.
Please do.
It's
Please do.
gonna be so fun.
This is awesome.
What are some, Val, spooky colors? If we're having some secondary colors in here, what are we gonna do?
Like a deep lavender would be, like a strong lavender.
So just so we're like, got some reference.
Honestly, it's like maybe a little desaturated, like a dusty lavender. I think is like like something that is pretty good. A burnt orange also is like a very magical color, which you've kind of got. Another good color is like a maroon or a mahogany kind of color,
mahogany.
like a red with more of like a brown influence could be really cool. I do really like that purple in there, honestly.
I like that purple a lot.
I think burnt orange and lavender always work really well together.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay.
Like an emerald green works good too, but purple and orange are my two most favorite colors of all time.
Purple and orange. My room in high school was orange.
Really?
Yeah, it
That's
was.
amazing.
Yeah, I was actually a really obnoxious teenager.
Hey, me too.
I get this. This is like disgusting. But I asked my mom. I was like, Mom, what's your least favorite color? She was like, orange. And I was like, I want to paint my room orange. And I had an orange room in high school. Insufferable. I was terrible.
That's okay.
But it ended up being great. Like, my room was orange. I think my mom ended up liking it. I loved it. Orange is like the color of creativity. I've read that places.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe that's why we're so creative too, is because we both really like orange.
Yeah, because we just like to be submerged in orange. Yeah.
I think what I'm gonna do, we're coming up on time. We need to, I want to sort of try to finish this off. I've got a bunch of different textures. So we're just gonna do a quick little some kind of texture. We're gonna add a little bit of.
I like that one. But I do like the folds too. Like a good fold through it is really nice.
Foldy? This is a good
like it's
foldy
been
one.
folded up and put in the pocket or something.
Yep, totally.
Like you don't get this by mail. A witch lands on your roof and slides down the side of your house and then whips out this invitation from the bottom of her witch's bag.
Oh,
I love it.
oh my gosh.
She just kind of tosses it at you and is like, show up.
This is so cool. And see, something too that would be cool is if I put this on Instagram or I send it out to people, I can make different color variations too.
Yes, absolutely.
So no
There's
one's
different
getting the
colors.
same.
We're sending these to the witches, these to the warlocks, these to the ogres, and these to the whatever else. I don't know. Trolls? Are we inviting trolls?
I'm I don't know if I love that. I don't think I want to invite trolls.
Okay.
I mean, trolls has a kind of a negative internet connotation.
It does, but they're actually delightful people.
Yeah.
They're just really large.
Yeah.
And they break furniture.
I feel like trolls
often.
have been misrepresented by internet culture.
100%. 100%. Maybe it's the tusks.
Maybe
it could be that.
is. Okay, I mean, wow, we've got a really cool illustration here.
Yeah.
Should we just do a really quick recap?
Yeah, we've got just a couple of minutes here, so I think a recap would be great. Also, Mima was saying blood red could be cool. I think that's awesome, and I encourage anybody who had maybe an idea that we weren't able to throw in, create your own and tag us. Please, because we want to see. But yeah, go ahead and do a little
100%.
recap for everyone, and then I'll let them know what's happening next.
So what have we done today? We've created a seasonal party illustration. We have used kind of the basis of this illustration is typography, this Friday the 13th typography that we actually generated over in Adobe Firefly, which is their generative AI software. It's in its beta phases right now, but if you have a Creative Cloud account, anyone can access it. It's just really cool tool. You can type in a prompt and it will just generate all these different really cool illustrations. It can generate different images. And so that's what we've done today is we used it to generate Let's go into my downloads really fast. We use it to generate all of these like really cool, spooky illustrations and images and typographies. Look, we didn't even use any of these.
No, they were fun to make though.
And we pulled it all together into this really cool poster.
Love it. Love it. It was an absolute blast. It was a pleasure watching you work, Cory, and hanging
thank you.
out, even if I don't remember all the stuff from Hocus Pocus.
It was a pleasure being hosted by you.
Thank you. But we are about to switch spots. We're about to switch places. Don't go anywhere, because I'm going to be guesting, doing some cool illustration coming up next, and Cory's going to be hosting me. It should be a blast. So definitely give Cory a follow over on Instagram. You won't regret it. It's a wonderful, wonderful, terrific place to be. And we will see you in just a few moments.
Just a few minutes. Stick around.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.